Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Monty Kataria. This is Distash. I'm joined with Puneet and Sakshi from the mini film, the short film, still a short film, under 40 minutes, Grave.
मैं actually खुश थी, and suddenly everything changed.
Can you please tell me, of course, as always, how did it start? How did the idea become, conceived, and then how did it actually get to the platform and then for everyone to see? Anyone can please take it away.
I think this idea came about to me in 2020. I think one of my friends got in touch with me. She had a similar incident that we tried to portray in Grey, which is about consent. And I think once I was made aware of the incident, I discussed it with my partner, and she said that she's also, has been a victim of sexual assault. I discussed it with my sisters. They said they also had some similar experiences. And then for me, it was trivial of how common this is, but also very strange that no one has ever spoken about this. And what I mean by that is, if we talk about sexual assault, most of the people think we're talking about rape, but no, it's a spectrum. When we talk about a perpetrator, we talk about a stranger, a dark, tall stranger. But no, the sexual assault can happen literally from your own best friend, from someone you're vulnerable with. And even similarly, if you look at the place, you think, oh, it's a dark alley where no one goes. No, it can happen in the confines of your own home. So when I started fleshing this idea, I knew that there is something right there. And then I reached out to a common friend, Nikhil, who also happens to be the producer of the film. When I reached out to Nikhil saying, hey, Nikhil, I have this idea, I need a writer. And Nikhil said, look no further. And Nikhil made an introduction with Sakshi. Sakshi and I got acquainted. I think it was June of 2020. And I think Sakshi can add her feedback or her comment to this, but I think this film actually was therapeutic for both of us from a different point of view. And it took us nearly a year, where again, Sakshi had COVID, I had COVID, her family, my family, I was traveling, she was traveling, but it took us a year. And I think by the end of November 2021, thanks to Nikhil, who's the producer, he pitched this film to Amazon, and Amazon decided to make it as a part of their launch for Amazon Mini TV. And Sakshi happened to be the director as well.
Amazon my experience with them was very, very easy. I feel like they're one of the organizations that just left all creative decisions to us, and I did not have to worry at all. When he did approach me, I started researching this entire film and the idea and the concept, and at the time it was I was doing something for a film, but the more I delved into it, the more I realized so much of it had happened with me too, but I was just not aware. And I was not aware that so many of dear friends had crossed their lines with me, or the fact that I was okay with it, or the fact that I didn't even know I was not supposed to be okay with it. And it wasn't therapy through writing this film. So as Puneet also mentioned, it was very therapeutic, the whole experience. So I think we have had multiple endings to this film in the writing stage. And I think we landed with this because I feel like also getting even my personal journey of being in therapy was reflected into this film. And it took me a while to get there. And so hence the journey and the time and everything else that got us to this point.
I've only heard about women being on the shorter end of the stick. Does this also happen to men? And is there, if we can shed some light on that, that's one question. And then you said actually there were multiple endings during the writing process. Why did we choose the one that we're at with the poem to finish?
Sexual nature of it.
Right.
But consent can also be breached in many, many other ways.
Sure.
And when we're talking about whether or not it happens with men or it doesn't happen with men, of course it happens with men, it happens with everybody. And I feel like usually the story specifically we're talking about is Naina. The context of it happening with a woman is always going to be different from a context of it happening with a man, or a context of it happening with a third gender. So yeah, if I don't know if that was your question or what.
No, that's fine. It answers it. It's just confirmation is what I was looking for. That's it. But the ending.
The ending. So I feel like yeah, there were like multiple endings at some point, and we went back and forth and back and forth. And I feel like we were trying to find that exact feeling, you know. And I think we eventually did, because there was the whole film is this one person contemplating what happened to her and not being able to make sense of it. Right? The fact that the whole thing was, described as gray,
Correct,
was the biggest problem. So the fact that the woman, Naina, is able to differentiate between the black and white was, I think, our main goal, and we eventually ended up achieving it, because consent is black and white. It is not gray.
absolutely.
Yes or no. There is no maybe.
Which ending came a very close second, and if you can share that without giving away too much of the film.
So the ending that came really close was our protagonist takes a little walk, to, probably her usual point. And along the way, she meets all of her different selves that she had once abandoned and is now taking back.
Okay, fair enough. How much of your initial concept did actually get, delivered into the final production of the film, and what's out for the public now?
I think everything.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing I'd say is this topic is far deeper than a 29-minute could convey.
Sure.
But I think the goal that we wanted to put it out, I remember Sakshi and I. So again, fun fact: this film was supposed to be based in New York. I think Sakshi has spent a lot of time in New York. I'm from New York, so
that would be lovely.
Yeah, and then the Sakshi, the scene that she's talking about, I could imagine at the Newport waterfront, because Monty, you're aware of that. But anyway,
yes.
So when we were unearthing the topic, we realized that there has to be more film about it. You can't just leave it there. So everything that we wanted, we were able to deliver. However, this also gave us a lot of hook, a lot of topic that we are trying to explore further, whether it's by a second film or some other project. But yeah, we at least the initial thought I had, which we just wanted people to talk. We just wanted a John Doe sitting in a corner of Minnesota to see this movie and at least have a conversation that what happened here. That was our goal.
After the film release, I had like a bunch of messages from strangers on Instagram saying that they related to the film.
That sounds very gray as soon as you start that sentence. I got a bunch of messages on Instagram from strangers. Okay.
They were nice messages.
Okay, great, lovely.
That they found the film to be very relatable, that it changed their life in many ways. That there was this one particular girl who had messaged saying that for the last 6 to 8 months she was feeling a bit uncomfortable, and she and her dynamic with her friend had become very weird, and she wasn't sure why. So when she saw Grey, it kind of like put all of her thoughts into words. And she realized that a similar incident had happened, and that's why she was being forced by herself to put that distance between the two of them. And that I thought was everything, honestly. I think this film was put out there for a purpose and it achieved that purpose.
Individuals that have not seen Grey, the short film, on Amazon's Mini TV, please, I urge you to go watch it, and not just watch it yourself, share it with your friends and let everyone know. It's a 29-minute film, won't take too much of your time. You spend that more than that on Instagram Reels and TikTok. So watch the film, share it with your friends. It needs to be seen. Thank you so much, guys, for making the film, and we're looking for more projects later. Thank you so very much.
मैं सब कुछ भूल जाना चाहती हूँ, जैसे कि कुछ हुआ ही नहीं.